Hello, hello. Trying to get my screen straight and all those things is always a challenge. Okay. Welcome to Tip Tuesday. For anybody who's never been here before, my name is Jeri Mobley, also known as Shameless Stamper. And we are here today to do something really fun. In fact, it's sort of an experiment. I've been told it works, so technically I haven't done it yet. So we're gonna give this a go live because that's the way to do it. Hey, Pauline. So as you guys join, please say hi. I'd love to hear what you think about this. Let me know after you watch the video, or if you're watching this on replay after you're done watching, whether you're on live or not, it doesn't matter. Let me know what you think. I'm super curious because I am excited to give this a try. I've actually had this in my hot little hands for about 2 weeks, and I've been dying to do this. So I'm super, super excited about today's Tip Tuesday. Okay, are we ready? Here we go. So this is the white ink pad. This comes blank. So when you buy this, it says white on it and all the things, right? But the pad itself is empty. See? Empty. Nothing on it. And then you get this white, Whisper White refill. And this you add to your pad. Now, if you guys didn't know that, we'll talk about that on another day, okay? But you get the white Whisper refill. It comes with the pad. You can also buy more later. And you fill up your pad and you have your white craft ink that you can then stamp with. Now, craft ink is thicker than regular ink because it's closer to a paint. This is more of a dye. All the rest of our inks are. This is thicker because it's got to have enough pigment in it to not just seep into the paper, but stay on top. So this is the white. Okay, so that comes with it. But rather than filling, I already have a white. So rather than filling this with white, I bought this brand new ink pad because we're gonna play with Memento black refill in this pad. So that's my curiosity here, is what is this going to do? So the idea being that we have the refill for our Memento Tuxedo Black ink, which this is a felt pad. This is a sponge pad like the rest of our dye inks. And so my biggest concern is whether or not it will change the ink and how it works in any way, shape, or form. I honestly don't know, but it has been done before, so I'm going to give it a go and see what we think. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna, look, I've already got ink all over me. How do I do that? It must be on the lid. Okay, yep, sure enough. So now that I have ink all over me, we have done a video. Bye, see you later. No, just kidding. So we're gonna take our Memento Tuxedo Black ink refill, and we are going to fill this pad with the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So I'm just going to spread it all over here. You can see there's quite a bit there. All right, now hold on, let me grab, I'm gonna grab, you can use anything to push your ink into your pad. I usually tend to use one of our little embossing paste spatulas. We have a set of these that you can get. So I'm just gonna gently kind of push this into the pad. Now this is a brand new fresh pad, so it's a virgin pad. It's never had ink in it before. So we want to just get ink everywhere for one. So I'm just pushing the ink into this pad. Now, this first go around won't be enough because it is completely a dry pad. We're gonna definitely probably have to add more. But, oops, I just made that. Okay, you can see now it's soaking it up a little bit better. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and add some more. Now, it may take a couple of times to get this completely saturated. I really don't know, but we'll give it our best here. And yes, I'm probably going to have to buy a new refill just because we are filling an entire ink pad, which is not the norm, and also sticking our finger in the ink as many times as possible for fun. Okay. What do you do for fun? I stick my finger in ink. No. Okay, so we're just encouraging the ink to soak down into the pad by pushing this. It's funny, the moment you sort of push it down in there, it goes, oh, I'm supposed to go down there, okay. It's really funny. So just trying to get it to all go in there. Okay, now, I'm probably not going to do any more than this for the moment, just because I want to give this a go first. So you can see here I've encouraged all that ink to saturate down in there. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more off of this. All right. Yes, I'm sort of scraping this off the edge of that, but that just made it get on my ink pad. I shouldn't have done that. I mean, on the actual plastic, which I shouldn't have done. I can clean that up later, but anyway, I'll get the idea. Oh, I got it. Okay. So, I try not to make a total mess of my ink pads, but I have made a little bit of one, so. Okay, so now that we've got that on there, I'm going to move this over to the side for just a second here. I don't want to spread ink everywhere, though, so I'm going to try to get off the side. Okay. So now that we've done that, let's see what that means as far as stamping goes. So I'm just going to take a piece of white. This is our white cardstock, which is really great for stamping. And let's just see what kind of a difference this makes. So I've got our bee stamps here. Now, I'm not trying to stamp a bee in the moment. I'm just using this because this is a nice fat stamp. And actually, let me use this one because this one's more of a line, because I want to see what it does with both versus our Memento. Let's move this. Our Memento ink. So we have the two pads. So now we've got the same ink, but two separate pads, right? So let's just see what kind of a difference this makes. So here, let's do this way. So this is the original Memento ink on a Memento pad, which is a felt pad. Okay. And then we will come over here and we'll ink it up on the other one. Definitely better. I do see a little bit of a bubble. I slid also, so I didn't stamp perfect. That was my fault. Sorry. There's our wings. Well, I don't know, guys. You know, there's kinds of positives and negatives to both, and I do need the ink to probably saturate down in that pad a little bit better. Let's try this one more time. I'm going to clean these off just to give it a completely fair. Let's do this. Let's do this. We're gonna ink this up. I hate it when it does that. I'm trying to keep it from doing that. I'm going to ink this up straight, and then I'm going to clean it off, and then I'll ink it up. We'll go from 0 to 60 here. I'm trying not to slide. I just slid again. So this definitely gets more ink on the stamp. I'm going to say that for sure. That is a definite. Yeah, I'm going to say that is most definitely the case. You're going to get way more ink on your stamp using this pad. So especially for these thick type of stamps, when you're trying to get an image, I'm going to show this to you up close. Yeah, other than my sliding, that's not crisp. I'm sorry. That was my fault. I slid. But it is definitely thicker is it crisper? I'm not sure about that, because if you look at the fine lines, I do think I'm getting a little, and it may just because I just getting ink on me all over the place here. Okay, it may just be because I just inked this up, and so it's a little bit juicy at the moment. So let me see if I can, I'm going to try to be very gentle and not, so the juicier it is, the more these little kind of accidental extras you get. That's what I'm trying to avoid. How do I keep that from happening? I'm literally just going to set my stamp on there. I'm not even going to tap it. Okay. Well, there's a tip. Look, when you just set it on there and then set it down, whoo, that is nice and crisp and very dark. So I do like that. There's definitely some positives. I might play with it a little bit more, but I have to say, that's pretty cool. I am kind of liking this. So, what do you guys think? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. What do you think? Do you think it's better? I wonder what would happen with this guy. That's nice. Yeah, I mean, oh, man. It's definitely darker. That I can say for sure. You can see that here. There's a lot more ink that deposited as opposed to this. This has a little bit of fluffiness to it for the thick images, the solid images. The lined images, I could probably go either way, to be honest. Yeah, Mother's Day was great. Thanks for asking. I would have been on sooner, but my darn technology issues. I'm just going to say that. So, you guys tell me what you think. I'd love to know for sure what you think about putting the Memento refill on the white ink pad that's blank and brand new. Because, I mean, it's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to be playing around with that for sure. I think I will try to do a bunch of different things with it and see what I think is, what I like the best before I make my decision. But I'm I'm definitely liking that. That's nice for a solid image. Don't you guys think? What are y'all's thoughts? I'm not seeing any thoughts other than Sandra's. So thank you for your thoughts, Sandra. Would love to know y'all's thoughts. And I'm going to clean this off while y'all are... Sandra, I agree, but it could be the camera. It could be the camera. You think it's the camera? So this one is bad. Don't look at that one. But this one is from this side. And this is the one I just set it on the stamp pad and didn't, try to pat it around. And that one is really nice. I will say that these two are not that different. They're close. It is a little crisper. It is definitely thicker in person. You can probably see that though. Mm. Can you see the difference in, I'm going to show, can you see the difference in how that one is not totally solid? I'm hoping, but this one is. So definitely for the solid things, it makes a huge difference. Still out on the others. Yeah, okay, let's play a little bit more. Hey, y'all, it's okay. I know it's Tip Tuesday, but I don't mind playing just a little bit. Sorry, I'm going to try to get this off my hand real quick, though, if y'all don't mind. It's going to drive me crazy. Okay, so let's try. Let me grab something else. Let me grab a sentiment. How about that? That would help, I'm sure, for us to decide what we like, right? Okay. Let me see. We'll grab this. How about that? There's a fuzz on here. We don't want fuzz on here. Okay, I gotta get the fuzz off. Hold on. Did y'all get fuzzes on your... How did that get on there so quick? Like, seriously. Like, we just filled that, and I got a fuzz on it already. Okay. So, let's see. Let's try another one. Okay. I'm going to try the peekaboo because this has some fine lines to it. So, let's give this a go. Let me grab another piece of paper here. All right. So we're going to just do 2 bears. So I've got the original here, original. I should actually be using my Stampin' Pierce mat, but since I already did this one without it, I will. See, I've got a fuzz on there. Sorry about that. Hold on. Just ignore the fuzz. I did get a fuzz on there. Okay. Since I did it this way with the other one, I'm gonna... Okay. Okay, so here's the deal. Yeah. This is definitely better. So this is the original Memento ink pad. Both Memento ink, but this is the original ink pad. And then this one is the sponge pad. But I'd be very careful that you don't bounce on it or anything like that, because you're going to get ink up in your stamp. So I literally just set it on there. What would happen if I just set it on here? Not the same, because it doesn't get all the ink. It's going to be an imperfect stamp. You have to push on this one because it is felt. That's the difference. But I don't want to push at all. Not even kissing on this one. I'm just literally setting it on top to get that image, because if you do more than set it on there, you get it kind of wants to squish up. But I have to say, I think I do like this better. It's just going to take a little bit of practice at playing with that one. Stamp words. Okay, I'll stamp words. Hold on. Let's try words. I'm going all out today. Here we go. Let's try something else. Okay, let's try a word. Let's try. I'm going to go with something thin, right? Because that's what we're really looking at, is the thinness. So, and I'm going to grab my Stampin' mat too, because that's where I should be stamping with this kind of stamp. So let's give this a try. Okay, so grateful. I'm going to clean it just to make sure we start from the same point. Yeah, I think I've become a believer. What do you guys think? So this is the original ink pad, and this is the sponge one. There is a little bit of not perfection there, just a little bit, but I think overall I do like it better. So it's not super simple to decide. It's not. So tell me what you guys think. Which word do you like better? And that could have been my hand for all I know. I may have just bubbled a little bit with my hand, but it's hard to decide, isn't it? I mean, really. Oh, that one got too much ink in it. This stamp is really shallow. So it probably depends on the stamp too, because that shallow stamp kind of sunk down in there. So let me try doing it. Let me try doing it myself and not letting it sink. See if that makes a difference. No, it's too saturated. It's bumping. See, there's too much ink. It's getting in between the different things. I'm having trouble getting it to not. It's too much. So that might be a no against it, is that you get too much ink on your ink pad, on your stamp, versus, now that one does it too. It's this one. This particular stamp is a little shallow for that. So I wouldn't stamp this in black. Every once in a while you get certain stamps that are a little more shallow than others. I'm just going to try this again because I feel like this is a really good, since we're on the ink, we're on the Stampin' mat now. That's good because it helps us. Okay. I wouldn't do this flower with that, but yeah, I definitely feel like I do like the sponge better, but it's not a huge difference, you guys. Like, I mean, if you look at these two stamps, don't pay attention to the flowers. Look at these two stamps. If you look at the bears, it is super minute, but if you're trying to be picky about it, then yeah, it's a habit change for sure. Yeah. So if you just, like, I just set it down on the pad for this one. If you just set it down and you don't push at all, then maybe possibly. So, yeah, definitely the word here is better. So don't pay attention to these. These are, what's wrong with my pen? It's dying. Hold on. Let me get another one. So don't pay attention to these because these were a mistake, okay? But these are the original and then the new, right? Okay, so definitely this one is better, and these are both better. This is the original and this is the new. And I have to say, this one is better. So it's a super close thing, very close thing. Probably on camera, it's hard to see all the little details. I will tell you that the foam pad is slightly better. So take it or leave it, whichever you decide to use. This one comes as is, ready to go, already inked up. This one you have to buy. You'll have an extra thing of white for your other craft pad, and you'll want to buy a refill to fill it up. So if you're willing to give it a try, give it a try and see what you think, and then let me know. I think it's a super cool idea for sure, and definitely on these thicker images it's better because it does give you a full image. But yeah, I'm super curious to hear what all of your opinions are. So that's it, you guys. I hope you have a really great week, and I will see you this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time, each of those days, for more creative inspiration. All right, see you later. Have a great week. God bless.